Focus. Okay, what does focus mean in relation to this context that we are discussing? Okay, so again with your discipline platform, focus is also, to a certain extent, quite established. Meaning, when you decide to do something, you do it.
Yeah.
There are still occasions, however, where you're still wavering. Remember, we're not talking about the absolute sense here. So we're pushing you to the point of perfection. So if there's even the slightest wavering, we're going to let you know, like we're letting you know here now.
Yes.
The smallest points where your mind might go, veer off to, where you might doubt, be uncertain, base or formulate assumptions, ideas or perceptions of yourself and your reality is what we'll be mentioning here.
Yeah.
So, meaning after we're done, you can also go through the interview again and just listen to those points that seemingly insignificant but are very important for you to take into account.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when walking the matrix or the world, because it's in the finer detail that you need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can be very good at doing that. You've done that within your artwork. You just haven't yet done that within yourself. The fine detail.
Interesting. Yeah, therefore I haven't actually pinpointed it yet.
Pinpointed?
Like that point of those small details that I might be overlooking.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're gonna look at that later on as well. The detail, the finer details of yourself, and as well, once you're there and you're walking the world and you're having your experiences and things like that, even on chats, always be there as well, so that whatever experience you face and you have walked your support platform, but there's still movements inside yourself that you're not clearly seeing, that's where we'll assist and support you, because those are your unconscious mind movements. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you've also got your muscle communication as your support for the unconscious points to get them out. Unconscious always related to memory. So if there's, for example, a movement still within yourself about a particular point, it's really a slight movement. It moves like this. You've experienced yourself when you're absolutely stable. If you remember when you've made a decision in a moment, you decide on a point, and in that moment of decision, it's like everything else inside you disappears. It's like concrete inside yourself in terms of how
I stand as that point.
Certain you are. Okay. Whenever that point is not so within yourself and you're experiencing like this movement about an action you require taking or a direction you require going into, or when you're contemplating or considering something, that's memory, movement. Then you can use your muscle communication, check what memory, is it an influence, is it something you've got to take into consideration, is it a replay of a cycle, what pattern am I facing again now, did I fall in the previous cycle or pattern, is there a point in the previous cycle or pattern that I missed that I can stand within in this one, because the matrix works in cycles and patterns. I mean, according to who and how you are, and I've constructed and lived your life together with the interplay of all the people in your reality, the matrix moves in cycles. So in essence, from a certain perspective, for a while, until the whole unconscious reality of the physical and all human beings have been removed, you'll find that there'll be particular cycles in your reality.
Yeah.
Because it's also taken into consideration the world system and the money system and that whole scenario.
Yes.
So this is talking big stuff, but what you require focusing on is whenever you feel this movement, you check the following points. Is it a cycle? Is it a pattern that's replaying itself within this point that you're facing now? And what memory is related to the cycle and or pattern? Is it a point you require facing? Is there something in your past that may assist and support you with this point that you're facing now? Various points you can take into consideration.
Okay.
But where do you want to be when you are deciding on an action or a direction? That point of absolute stability.
Yeah.
In that moment, meaning naturally it's not yet going to be like that all the time. But when you make a decision, what is your stability point in your standing in relation to that decision is when you're absolutely clear inside yourself. And you've experienced that clarity, so you've got a reference point for it.
Yeah.
But if that clarity is not there, you first make sure that that clarity is there.
Yeah.
Before you walk. Because remember, always you want to get your self point sorted out first. You want to be able to stand no matter what. Because, I mean, if that point doesn't stand, isn't stable, in whatever decision make direction you go into, I'm talking on small decisions, directions. I mean, you've got your absolute direction, which is
certain.
I'm talking now momentary occurrences that happen spontaneously within your reality.
Yeah.
And those type of things. Always get your self point stable first. Clear before you engage into your reality or world. Within that, what is focus? Focus is your point, as we've said, closely related to discipline, but not too much, is your attention to detail. So you've got one aspect of focus down, meaning when you make a decision, you'll accordingly walk it.
Yeah.
Okay. However, now we've discussed what happens when you do make a decision and you walk it and there's still movement inside you.
Yeah.
So that point is clear. Now, however, focus in relation to attention to detail within yourself. Always remember in terms of what you're walking and who you are within your walking. No matter what you're facing. Because it can get to a certain extent quite tough within reality from the perspective of losing yourself within it all very easily.
Yeah.
It's like you're just kind of swept away for a moment. Don't judge yourself. Okay?
Quite important.
Yes. Don't be hard on yourself. It is going to happen and it is okay. Why? I mean, if you don't know how something is, how it works, or how it is experienced, how will you physically, practically know who you are within it? Makes sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you've got to experience it through years. What I'm saying is recognizing the gift within the experience of, for example, losing yourself for a moment within the experience of everything.